Hello and welcome everyone to episode 71 of the Gaming Duo podcast. I'm Kelvin, your host for this week, and I'm joined by co-host Robert Garcia. If you're new to the show, welcome. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. We are the podcast that discusses the latest gaming news each and every Friday at 7 a.m. Eastern Time. Rob, how to do? What's going on?
Pretty good, man. I've been playing old games lately. I play an old game. The old game is Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. Basically,
Is
that's
that the
actually
one?
the
Yeah.
part I'm in right now.
There
I'm
you go.
actually in the forest right now.
Nice.
With that. So,
Nostalgic, huh?
um, yeah. What are you playing? Anything cool?
Nothing. No, nothing nostalgic. I'm playing Apex with you. That's pretty much it. That's all I'm playing right now at the moment. But I'm hoping to get into more games soon, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. Um, but yeah, that's really what I'm honing in right now. It's been a busy week. You know what I mean? So it's been hard to kind of get in some gaming stuff, but we have been pretty good, pretty steady. I would say this week. I think we play like 3 or 4 times a week, almost right. Like at
Trying
least
to get good at Apex. That's all it
it's
is.
hard.
It's a
It's
hard game.
hard.
It's a
It's
very hard
such a
battle
hard
royale.
game. But it's fun, and I think we're getting there. I think we're closer to getting semi better than what we were before. It just takes practice, man. So much practice. And I'm just like, do I want that dedication right now? Or you know what I mean? But so far I'm having a blast.
Well, I know Call of Duty's having some kind of event with King Kong and Godzilla, so I'm gonna try that.
Hmm.
I know it's like a limited time event. Hopefully,
Yeah.
it's good.
I saw some trailers and I don't know how I feel about it at the moment. I think it looked a little wonky, and I was talking to my coworker Ed about it, and it just seems like very um It
Gimmicky.
it adds an extra layer to the game, which is kinda cool, kinda something else to drive your attention towards, right?
Sure.
But it's just a little weird in my opinion, but I have to try it out and see how it is and kinda make a decision after that, but we'll see. I'll probably check it out with you,
Yeah, let's jump on and jump in back to Call of Duty. I know I'm basically waiting for the new Warzone to drop because that's when I'll play Call
Mm,
of Duty again. I'm kind
yeah,
of over the whole Vanguard thing. So
I agree. Well, Rob,
yeah,
let's jump into some gaming news. Before we do that though, Rob, let's tell everybody to please thank you for listening. Thank you for joining us. But we want you guys to do us a huge favor and go over to Spotify, go over to Apple, and if you like what you hear, if you've liked what you've heard in the previous episodes, give us a like and enjoy and give us a rating from Apple and Spotify. That'd be fantastic if you guys do. That would help us out a lot. Rob, let's get into the news. News number one here. We have the full list of PS4 and PS5 games finally revealed for the new Sony PlayStation Plus tier list here. So we finally got a glimpse of it. We finally got a glimpse of the games that are coming out for each tier in the revamped service for the PlayStation Plus, which we talked about a little bit before, but now we actually have the list that actually gives us what we're going to get in those tier lists. So if you guys haven't um, basically, if you don't know what the tier lists are, I recommend check out episode 64 where we talk about it in depth. So go check that out if you haven't already. So basically, just to kind of go over some of the stuff that they have here. There's 3 tiers. One is the PlayStation Plus Essentials, which is the $60 that you're already initially paying for
which
right
everyone
now.
has that.
Everyone has it. There's no change in that. The PlayStation Plus Extra, which is $100, and then the PlayStation Plus Premium, which is $120.
Double the price.
Double the
Double the
price.
price.
Is it worth it?
Right, well,
Is it worth it?
we're
We'll
gonna
find
talk
out.
about that right now.
Exactly.
See.
62 games will be available for PlayStation Plus Extra on launch. 28 additional games, including PlayStation Classics, will be available for the PlayStation Plus Premium tier. On the Premium tier, you will also be able to stream 29 PS3 games at launch. Not only that, Rob, but I'm going to incorporate another news piece, which is Ubisoft is partnering with
Is
Sony.
it Ubisoft or Ubisoft?
Interchangeable. I think it's
Is it?
interchangeable. You can say
It is right.
Ubisoft,
Yeah, yeah.
Ubisoft. It doesn't matter. Whatever floats your boat.
Right.
Whatever floats your boat. You know what I mean? So Ubisoft is partnering with Sony to include Ubisoft Plus and Ubisoft Plus Classics. That's their own streaming, like their own tier
Their
system that they have
service.
going
Yeah.
on, their service.
Right.
Ubisoft Plus Classics will be bundled into PlayStation Plus Extra and PlayStation Plus Premium tier, and there will be 27 titles at launch for the Ubisoft Plus Classics. Rob, There's a lot going on here. There's a bunch of games. I'm not going to name them all because there's just too much to name right now. So we're going to post this on the bottom there so you guys can check it out. Like if you're listening to Apple, if you're listening to Spotify, you'll see the link to where you can find these games and just kind of search them out there. It's a lot of games. What do you think about this list?
So I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant in a
Oh
bit
boy.
about the whole thing, but let's just talk about the games first. I want to get that out of the way.
Mhm.
So we have 62 games on the PS Plus Extra, which is the $100 tier.
Mhm.
And I'm looking at these games, and I'll tell you a couple of ones that pop out at me right off the jump, right? PS4 games, PS5 games. Um, we have Assassin's Creed Valhalla for me. Uh, we have Death Stranding and Death Stranding Director's Cut. Solid. Excuse me, I'm really burpy. We have Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut.
Mhm.
That's big to me. Uh, actually got to play the Infamous games. So Infamous 1 and 2 are they? We have
Okay.
Medieval. I wanted to buy Medieval for the longest time, and now it's
Don't
just like right there. So I
don't do it.
just um, and then we have the Last Guardian. Those are kind of like the ones that stick out to me. But before I kind of go on my rant about this, what are the games that kind of stick out to you on this list?
For me,
I want to hear your list. Yeah.
games that haven't had the chance to play on like the legacy consoles, right? So Assassin's Creed Valhalla, that game's out everywhere, right? But and I can play it on PS5 if I wanted to, but that's a game that it's gonna be a part of the PlayStation Plus Extra, which is the tier that I'm looking at, and I would definitely play that and check it out. Death Stranding, again, a game that we've constantly been talking about over and over that we want to try out, but we just never did get the chance to do that. This is the chance to actually get that, and I have literally no excuse. If I buy this, I have no excuse to
You have no
not try
excuse. You
this
have to
game
play
out.
it. Right.
Exactly. So that's one of them, and then the other one here is Ghost of Tsushima, director's cut at that. So that bundles in all of the extra stuff that they came in with the director's cut, and that's really cool. I think that's great to have. So again, I missed that one. I definitely wanted to check it out, and now I have a chance to do that.
I so those are the games you liked, right?
Yeah.
I have a problem. No, let's go into the other tier, right? Let's go into what $120 net is on there. First off, pretty cool. We have the Dark Cloud games, have Sign Filter, right? We have all of
Yep.
the Jack games. So automatically those right there, that's kind of a big deal. Like,
Mhm.
the fact that it's kind of hard to play those games right now, I don't think you can actually play those games without having a PS2 or having a PS3. I don't know if they're available on PS4. It says it actually is on PS4, I guess.
Yeah.
But
I don't. I think they are.
yeah, so it would suck because I feel like I'm missing out with the PS Plus Premium if I didn't get it because there's a lot of great games, but I don't think it's enough to justify the $40 extra on what is it?
Mhm.
Yeah, no, it's is it $40 extra? Yeah, $40 extra on
$40. Yep.
top of the essential and $20 extra on top of. Like for me, if you're at the extra spot, you kind of might as well pay the extra 20 to get access to the PS Classic games, right? Like $20 is a game
So
right
you're
there.
saying the premium is worth the price right now if you're at already the extra tier?
If you're already paying $40 extra from the original, the what is it called?
Oh, like the
Freaking
essential?
the essential, you might as well jump up an extra $20 to get the full service. You're only paying extra $20 on top of that. Whereas before you're jumping $40. So you might as well just pay the extra $20 and get the max one. Um, and then you can also stream a bunch of PS3 games, which I have a problem with that list. So, and why do we have? There's a
With the
game that's on.
the streamable games?
Yeah,
I don't know. What's your issue with it?
there's no Metal Gear Solid 4.
Oh, that's just overall. This whole tier list does not have Metal Gear Solid 4, period, which that pisses me off, but that's a different story.
But
So,
why is this game so elusive? Why don't they add?
I
That's
don't know. It's a very good question. I have no idea why they don't have it on this, but if I'm not mistaken, I think this isn't the final list.
form.
It's fine. It's not its final form. It's not its final form right now. I think there's gonna be additional games added prior to the release of it in June. I don't think it's gonna be anything substantial. I don't think it's gonna be anything that's gonna be like knocking us out the park, but we'll see, maybe. So there is a chance. There is a hope. Um, yeah, my opinion though, this is a interesting list. I think a lot of this is fan service when it comes to old school heads with like PS3, PS4. Like if you were a real diehard PlayStation fan, you're gonna love this. You're gonna love these games that they're giving you,
which you are.
and I'm a hardcore Sony fan, but I'm not really into playing old games. So I'm kind of like in a weird limbo here. I think for me, if I were to choose a tier list, it would probably be the PlayStation Plus Extra, only because it gives you the PS5 games, like the new hot latest games off the bat, and then you can play some old PS4 games if you choose to. Um, but I'm not the guy that kind of wants to play PS3 games. I'm not the guy that likes to play legacy consoles. So I think what they give you for the plus extra is fine with me. I think what they're
That's
trying
just
to
enough.
aim for, yeah, I think what they're trying to aim for the premium crowd is again those people that are diehard Sony fans. You know what I mean? Those people that will whatever Sony gives out is what they do is what they pay. So I think the sweet spot for them is trying to get people to go from the essentials, which is like their regular tier, going into that extra mile to get the PlayStation Plus extra. And it seems like a great catalog. I mean, if you think about it, if you don't have a PS5, this is an absolute banger of a deal. You're getting all these games that you haven't played before, and they're all pretty relevant titles right now. You know, you're getting Demon Souls, you're getting Assassin's Creed, you're getting Bloodborne, which people love Bloodborne, even though it's like a PS4 game, but it's one of those games that people love. You're getting um let's see what do we have here. We got a bunch of games here. Death Stranding, like I said before, like these games, some people haven't tried yet. God of War, like there's a lot of heavy hitters here that people want to try out, and this would be an excellent way to get people enticed to you know get that extra tier. And
Yeah.
plus, it's one of those where like you're paying $100, but with all the games that you're getting, I think it's worth it. If you haven't played these games before, if you're like me, where I've played a good amount of these games, now I'm looking at maybe 4 or 5 games that I'm really interested. So I'm like, is it worth it? Is it not? But because I am a Sony, fan, a huge Sony fan, I think it is still worth it just to play like the 2 or 3 games that I'm really interested in.
Right. And if you break the extra plus
Yeah.
extra,
Mhm.
you break it down per month, and it's only $8 a month, and you get a list. You have all these games, so it's not a bad deal. I think if this is the first time you had a Sony console,
Mhm.
I think this is the way to go. This is the cheapest access to all these games, so it is a great
Right.
deal.
Right.
It's better than Game Pass. No,
No,
I don't think it's
not
better
by a
than Game
long shot.
Pass. I
No,
don't think
no, absolutely not.
because we've seen what Game Pass can do. They've delivered with Game Pass. There's so many games on there that you don't even go through all of them. Whereas this list is pretty small right now. It's going to grow. Obviously, take some time.
Yeah,
It's going to
again,
grow.
you're comparing apples to oranges at the moment, right? Because this is
Right.
a kind of a new service. They're kind of rebranding this
But
now.
they're going to need to ramp it up quick with Game Pass.
See, we've talked about this before, and I was in the team of like, yeah, they have to get into trying to surpass Game Pass, or they have to compete with Game Pass. Now that I look at it, I don't think they're competing with Game Pass, and I don't think it's something that they need to compete with Game Pass. I've kind of changed my tone in that sense. I feel like they're just doing their own thing, and this is just a service to help make their service look more enticing compared to what Game Pass has, but they're not directly trying to compete with them, if that makes sense.
I don't. Well, you got to think of it from an average consumer. Do you think the average consumer wants to pay for Game Pass and Extra, PlayStation Plus Extra? Do you think they're going to do both? Because usually people tend to pick one or the other rather than consoles, right? People either choose Xbox, they play PS5, and if you're really lucky, you have both, right?
Yeah,
But it's in another subscription service that you're adding on to your thing. So you're going to get the customers like, which one do I get? Do I get PlayStation or do I get Xbox? One of the two. It's still that will still always. I know they're
mhm,
not directly competing like they used to, where it's like literal wars, but a preference thing where people are going to outweigh the pros and cons. That's why I
Right.
think that when people are comparing PlayStation 5 and X, look at their two streaming services and they're going to pick like which one is better out of the two, and then that person's going to pick whichever one sits. So that's how I think that's why they need to kind of compete with Game Pass in a sense, because they could lose a potential buyer
Right.
because of that service. So
A little bit more on the Ubisoft aspect of it, Rob. Do you think the Ubisoft classics being added into the service, is that makes does it make it more appealing to you, or is that something that they could have done without?
I know like EA joins in on like Game Pass, like the EA Play, and same thing with was it Bethesda? They do they're joined in as well, and I don't tend to notice those. It's always like a second thought to me. I'm like, oh, it's available. I don't really go out of my way to look for things on EA Play or look at things on Ubisoft Plus. I didn't even know Ubisoft Plus was a thing, to be honest,
Yeah.
before this. So I just don't. I hate how everyone's trying to get on the subscription bandwagon, and
Right.
it becomes like almost information overload. Like even just being like, well, if you get PlayStation Plus Premium or PlayStation Extra, you're getting Ubisoft Classics with that too, and you get these games as well. But it's like, but where is a line of like when is your subscription start, and like what do I get where? Like shopping for it is almost like a nightmare if you think about it, like reading through it.
Yeah.
um I almost think Nintendo did the best job at all out of all of them, because they were just simple. Like it's just an expansion pack to our original online service, and you get more, and that's it. It's only two things. It's like you want the little one or you want the big one, and that's it.
Right.
Whereas this is like one, two, three, plus Ubisoft plus Ubisoft Classics, and it almost is like too much choice in a sense.
Yeah.
Um,
Too many
so
choices.
right,
Yeah,
what do you
I
what do you
I
think of all
agree.
that?
I think
Okay,
I think it's a little too much, a little it's a lot for in the beginning, right? It's a lot in the beginning, but Ubisoft Plus is not necessarily incorporated into the PlayStation Plus service, right? That's just they're basically working with Sony so that, hey, if you want to purchase an additional service, Ubisoft Plus, then fine, you can do that. Now, the Ubisoft Plus Classics is something that is embedded into the service itself, so that you're able. I think that starts off with the PlayStation Plus Extra tier list, which is great. If you purchase the PlayStation Plus Extra tier list, you're getting those Ubisoft Plus Classics in those as well. And that's great. That means that you're getting games like Dying Light. Oh, I'm sorry, not Dying Light. Damn it, what's that game? Child of Light that I was talking about in the last episode, right? With you and Tony,
yeah, you're
where
getting your
it's
Assassin's Creeds, you're getting
Assassin's
all that
Creed.
stuff.
So those are games that I'm like, wow, those really resonated with me before. Having those, playing those games would be, great. So that's just an extra like bonus in my opinion for me. But it does get kind of convoluted when you start kind of adding everything and trying to understand at all these like different tiers and different like services and what goes with what. So it is a little confusing in that end. But I think the Ubisoft aspect to it does help make this a little bit more appetizing, more like appealing to people because Ubisoft is a big brand. People like Ubisoft games, and if they see that they have games, especially like the classics that people loved, and one of these tiers, are like, "Oh, I do like these games. I do like Ubisoft games. I'm going to probably purchase this instead." You know?
Yeah, I think they did a good job with the pricing. I think $100 a year isn't terrible. Again, $100 a year, that's less than two games. And
Right.
you're getting like a whole bunch of games right off the jump. And can you beat that? No. And plus, you're only paying a couple of bucks extra on top of the what you're paying before with the essential. It almost doesn't even make sense to get the essential anymore
Right.
when this drops. Do we have a date for when it drops? Is it June 13th?
June 13th, around there. I believe it's June 13th. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So I think for everyone, if you're gonna sign up for PlayStation, their subscription service, and you're already paying for the one you're paying for now, the essential, you might as well pay a little extra bucks a month, and you get all of these games.
Right.
If you're
Agreed.
getting 62 games, basically, and
Yeah.
then if you get the premium, which is again a little more, 120.
Right.
Again, that's for diehard fans, people that want that nostalgia. That'd be
Hmm.
more for someone in my boat where I like to go back to old games and kind of relive those. But most people are going to feel like you, Cal, right at home at that $100 price point, the middle tier.
The sweet
I
spot.
think that's enough. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
will I sign up for the service? Probably. I'll probably sign up for it. Why
Oh,
not?
you will. Okay. All right.
Yeah. After I saw the math and I broke it down, I was like, oh, That's not that
It's not a lot.
bad.
It's not. It's a lot,
Yeah,
but it's not a lot if you think about it. If you break it down like that.
yeah. So
Speaking of
what?
things breaking down, Rob,
Oh
our
shit!
next news episode makes absolutely no sense with what I just said. No, terrible segue.
That's
Final
fine. It
Fantasy
works. It
VII,
worked.
Final Fantasy VII remake news will be coming next month. So during a Japanese live stream, Final Fantasy VII director Tetsuya Nomura shared that Square Enix will make an announcement. Look at that! Look at that sexy boy. Nice. For listeners out there, for audio listeners, Rob has a Sephiroth statue that we went and bought at Comic Con, right? Was it Comic Con?
Yeah, it was Comic Con, New York City Comic Con, and he's amazing. I love him.
He's a beast. He's a beast. Um, they're going to be announcing information about Final Fantasy VII and the 25th anniversary of Final Fantasy VII next month. Square Enix said it intends to release several new games this year, including a Final Fantasy 16 trailer. Nomura has also stated that Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 will make more use of the PS5's unique hardware features. Rob, you are a huge Final Fantasy VII fan. What what do you take of this? Thoughts?
I mean, it's been a while. The last thing we got from Final Fantasy VII was Intergrade, which was the DLC to
Mm.
Final Fantasy VII Remake. So everyone's salivating at the mouth to see what's next. No, seriously, like
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
I really enjoyed Final Fantasy VII Remake so much that I even downloaded a second time onto my PS5 for the PS5 upgrade. And I really thought Intergrade wasn't going to be it was going to be okay. And I played it and I was like, wow, that was one of the best DLCs I've ever played in my life. You
Damn.
get the full experience, the full Final Fantasy experience. You get the cutscenes, you get like extra missions. It is short, but it's like short and sweet.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I really did enjoy that, and I'm just I'm just afraid. Like I'm like, what are they going to show? Like, how different are they going to make it compared to the original? Like, because now we know that the story's different. So how much different is the story going to be from the original? From what I got, people are a fan of what's going on right now. How like uh, Nomura is almost putting like a Kingdom Hearts feel to Final Fantasy VII right now with like the confusing timelines,
Mhm.
but little less
A
insane, it's a
little
little more
yeah,
digestible.
very much
Yeah.
so. This game is completely different than Kingdom Hearts as far as, like, how ridiculous the story is.
But you know what I'm talking about, how like they're
Yeah.
kind of changing things up and being like, there's a different storyline, there's a
Oh,
different
100%.
timeline.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do
I
you think?
have to say, Rob, I think we're reading into this, and we're gonna probably get disappointed. They're stating that they're gonna announce an announcement for the 25th anniversary of Final Fantasy VII. I honestly don't know if this is gonna be Final Fantasy VII Remake
Remake
Part
2,
2.
part 2. Do you think they wouldn't show 2 trailers of Final Fantasy, like Final Fantasy 16 and
Well,
67
that's the
Remake?
thing. This is Square Enix, and they don't give a fuck. Like this is the company that has released Kingdom Hearts 3, Final Fantasy 7, and I think Final Fantasy 15 all in the same like scope. You know what I mean? Like they've
Yeah.
released all those games, and now we're looking at it. We're looking at it now too, right? They've released Final Fantasy 7, but now they're talking about Kingdom Hearts 3. Now they're talking about Final
Kingdom
Fantasy
Hearts 4, 4, 4,
16.
4, 4.
I'm sorry, Kingdom Hearts 4, and then they're talking about Final Fantasy 16 now. It's like they just love to throw in all these games that they're working on. So I don't know. So a part of me is like, they won't show Final Fantasy Remake 2 only because they're working on Final Fantasy 16. That's going to overshadow Final Fantasy 16 in a heartbeat, right? And do they want to cannibalize their marketing campaign for that? Like, I don't know.
I mean,
You
you
know what I
raise a
mean?
good point, sir. That's a very good point. That
But there's another side of like, okay, maybe this isn't 7 Remake 2. Maybe this is an announcement of saying, hey, Final Fantasy 7 remake is coming to Xbox Game Pass or something. You know what I mean? Something like that. It isn't exclusive, but I clearly remember this game being a like title that will be released at some point in Xbox. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna be just uh exclusive. It wasn't like entirely exclusive. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't know.
console
Timed
time
exclusive.
exclusive.
Timed
Yeah, time
exclusive.
exclusive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know if this is going to be the actual remake part two like trailer that we're expecting. It could be them saying, "Hey, Final Fantasy VII is coming to Xbox," or I don't know, maybe another DLC. I just don't want them to cannibalize 16 when we also know that 16's trailer is going to be right around the corner soon.
Yeah, they did say that Final Fantasy 16 trailer will be coming.
Right?
I have a question for you on that subject. Are you more excited for Final Fantasy 16 or are you more excited for Final Fantasy 7 Remake 2?
16.
Oh, you're
16.
such a
I
you're
love I love 7. I played 7 with you, right? And I agree. I agree in every aspect that that game is phenomenal. However, I feel like that game s- it took too long. It overstayed its welcome, in my opinion. Again, Final
oh, when you're
Fantasy.
playing it,
Yeah, while I was playing it, it overstayed its welcome. I'm like, all right, this game just doesn't end. And it's not like I wasn't enjoying it. It's not like I wasn't having fun, but it got to a point where I'm just like how much content did you guys squeeze into this? Like, because this is supposed to be a 3-part series, right? Like, this is essentially what the original was for like half of the story, is it not?
well,
Like,
this was just a portion of the story. This was like the beginning phase of the story. This isn't even
but they made this into a 30-hour experience.
yeah.
So,
So
which is great.
I don't. So part two is gonna bigger, which I don't know how they're gonna do it, but it's gonna that's when the world opens up in the game. So I don't know
I
what the
I loved Final Fantasy 7, the way it played, the characters, and again, this is me not I've never played the original, so this is me looking at it from a different lens. But I never got a chance to play the originals. I only saw you play it once or twice. And I loved what I saw. I loved what I played, to the point where I'm almost a little jealous of like, why can't Nomura do this for Kingdom Hearts, like, for the Kingdom Hearts series? And I've talked about that numerous times. Um, but it's it just for me overstayed its welcome. And I think that with what they're trying to announce next month, it can go both ways. It can go the way that you're saying. We get a new trailer, everybody's excited, but is that going to overshadow 16? Is that, if that's the case, do people care? Are people going to buy this regardless? Are people going to buy 7 Remake 2? And are people going to buy Final Fantasy 16 regardless? It doesn't
they're gonna buy
matter.
both. They're gonna buy again. People love Final Fantasy except for the new
Yeah.
one that came out, the Final Fantasy Stranger of Paradise. That thing was ugh,
It's kind
ugh.
of a meme at this point. It's
Yeah,
like
it's
it's
not
so
good.
bad it's good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah. But
I,
I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll have to see next month. Not too far away, but it's one of those things where it's just like it can go both ways, right? So speaking of Final Fantasy 16, sorry, you have something to say?
I was just gonna say I read
Yeah,
something earlier. Final Fantasy 16. It seems like it's gonna have like similar gameplay to Devil May
I
Cry.
saw that. I saw exactly what
And
article you
that
were talking
I don't
about.
want to get hyped. I don't want to get hyped, but I'm very skeptical. But I'm also like, no way. If
Well,
they
we
make
saw
like
the trailer.
right, but it wasn't like a true gameplay trailer.
There were some gameplay elements,
There was some
and it
gameplay.
looked very similar to to Devil May Cry, 100%, which got me stoked.
I gotta like actually get my hands on it and see how
Hmm.
because Devil May Cry has some of the most tightest controls like in
Yeah.
a game. So
Well, you'll be happy to know that they actually included one of the Devil May Cry combat directors, or I forget his actual title, but he's a part of this project. So he's gonna definitely influence a lot of what Devil May Cry has for sure.
will this be my favorite Final Fantasy yet?
Maybe
We
that's
shall
why I'm
see.
so excited about this game. You know what I mean? Like, it looks really cool. The story looks cool. The characters look cool, and it has that, like, that little spice of Devil May Cry that I'm just like chef's kiss. You know what I mean? Like, this is gonna be nice. It has like that dark like atmosphere, that dark like tone that I'm just like I'm all over it. But so speaking of Final Fantasy 16, do you think we'll see that anytime soon? What are you thinking? Like September? Uh, they're kind of hinting at this is gonna be like really close. Like, how close are we talking? Next year,
I
early
mean,
next year? Like,
earliest we're getting is fall. It's gonna be a fall game. It's
yeah.
gonna be fall of this year.
Hmm.
I doubt it. They have to clean so much up. I don't see them announcing it that quick. I'm gonna be optimistic and probably say early 2020 Q1 2023.
Hmm.
I think it's gonna come out to be on the safe side.
Okay.
It would be kind of crazy if it came out at the end of this year, but we'll see. They like to just. All I know is Square Enix likes to take their time with the games, and I just want them to not delay. I don't want them. I don't want them to say Final Fantasy 16 is coming out this time and then delay it.
Right.
I hate that shit.
They do that a lot. They do that a lot, but we'll see. We shall see. Speaking of anticipation, Rob, we have news number 3 here with an insane new trailer for Warner Brothers Multiversus and a July open beta. So we were treated with a brand new trailer for the Warner Brothers Multiverse cinematic trailer that I think it came out yesterday. No, 2 days ago. Yeah, Tuesday. I want to say
Tuesday. Yeah,
Tuesday.
yeah.
Ridiculous trailer, dude. I highly recommend you guys check it out if you haven't. If you're really, if you're a fan of what what this game has to offer. So we covered this in previous episodes as well, but basically this is a Warner Brothers answer to Smash. It's like a free to play crossover brawler with original voice actors, which is like one of the highlights of the game. And it's an insane lineup of characters like Bugs Bunny, Batman, Shaggy, Arya Stark, a bunch of characters. And on top of that, with this trailer that they showed recently, this trailer now confirms that there's Tasmanian Devil, Velma, and Iron Giant to join the roster as well. So, thoughts on this so far?
I am getting a lot more hyped for this game than I was for Nickelodeon All Stars. I think this game has a better cast of characters. Warner Brothers has so much under their belt. Again, they go from all the Scooby Doo characters to all the Looney Tune characters to all the superheroes. Right? We're getting Wonder
So
Woman. We're getting
such
Batman.
yeah, diverse
There's
characters.
so many, and then to see Bugs Bunny fight off against Superman or the Iron Giant, that's pretty slick. And it's going to be interesting how they put off. They have a tall order ahead of them.
Mhm.
And am I going into this not being optimistic? Not really. I don't have high hopes for this game because I know just based off of seeing Nickelodeon All Stars, it didn't do well. Like anytime anyone tries to copy Super Smash Brothers, it fails. It fails every time. PlayStation tried to do it with All Stars, but if they have to make copy Super Smash exactly, because when you try to copy Super Smash, it's missing that special sauce. So that's what it is. Super Smash has that special sauce.
Yeah.
So this game needs to come up with some kind of special sauce of their own to make it engaging. And I think that special sauce goes into the roles that they're advertising, where one person could be like I as an assassin, Iron Giant is a tank. So using those characters' strength against each other, and especially if you incorporate some kind of team aspect to it,
The
that I think
2v the
that
2v2 is huge from what it looks like in this game.
right. So I think you have someone who's the main attacker, you have one who's supporting you, kind of the back line. I know Bugs Bunny's like kind of like a range, magic user, which will be pretty sick. It's gonna be crazy watching him freaking throw rockets
Tom
and
and Jerry, bro, come on.
yeah, Tom and Jerry's gonna be nuts. So this game has a lot of potential,
Mhm.
and that it's gonna make me really sad if it does fail because I was like that sucks if it does.
What'd you think of
Um,
the trailer itself?
it's great. I was entertained the whole. I was hyped the whole time. I
Yeah.
was like, dude, I
The
could
way
watch a
they did it
freaking
was
yeah.
epic.
They did it great. And this is not the first time they did something like this because I don't know if you watched the new Space Jam with LeBron
Yeah, I
James,
did. Yeah, unfortunately.
and they went to all of the Warner Brothers worlds,
Mhm.
and they had all of that. You saw Superman, you saw Batman, in the movies and stuff. So I think Warner Brothers knows how to incorporate their worlds with each other and make them work.
Right.
So I am hopeful for this game. I just don't want to get my hopes up for this game.
Well, hopefully we'll be able to try this game out soon because there is an invite only closed alpha beta ish alpha beta starting today, right? I don't know if we got an invite. I don't think so. I checked my email like 100 times this morning, did not get
Yeah,
anything.
I didn't get anything yet, but
So I don't know if that's just like it'll start trickling in at some point. But the alpha is until May 27th, allowing you to access 15 characters, 7 maps, and a handful of modes. I know a few of them is the 1v1 that we love, love to play with like Smash Brothers, the 2v2, which is a huge aspect into this game. Like you were saying, that each character has a role. And I think that's cool because with 2v2, you can kind of incorporate different roles or different characters, and depending on what their role is, you can kind of like mix and match, and it can be a cool way to build
right.
a team, a roster, as well as confirming an open beta for the public coming in July. There's no release date yet for the game, but expect the game to release on Xbox One, Series X and S, PS4, PS5, and
No
PC.
Switch.
No
PS
Switch.
Switch
No Switch.
always getting left out.
Yeah, for sure.
Poor, poor guy getting left out.
So I think this game, everything you said, I agree 100%. This game has so much potential, so much characteristics, so much like it has a lot of sauce in it in itself. Where that I feel like this could be maybe not the next Smash, but very close to it. I think just based off of what I've seen, IGN has already given us a preview of like what this game has to offer based off of playing the alpha. And from what they've said, they played about 2 hours. Don't quote me on that, but they said that it's a fun game. It's actually a game to look out for because, excuse me, now I'm burping. The
I don't know
game
what it is. I
has
don't. What are you drinking?
uh, I just have Coke and I just threw in
Whiskey. Yeah,
some,
I don't know why I'm
yeah.
so burpy right now. It's
Yeah.
something in the air. Anyways.
It's it looks fun. They're saying that the game has a lot of potential. It plays great so far. I think the main important thing what they're saying is that the characters are fun to play as, and they have a good style of gameplay that is different, and it makes it differentiates itself from Smash Brothers and from any other, brawler type of game like this. My issue with what I've seen so far from IGN's playthrough is that unlike Smash Brothers, where some characters are easily accessible to getting on the map or falling off the map, depending on how well their recovery is, this game seems to have no limitations as far as like what characters, how easy it is for characters to get onto the map. So everybody pretty much has no chance of dying unless you like smash them out because the recovery is insane. Every character has an insane recovery, which I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing. Again, we have to try it out and see. But based off of what I saw there, I'm just like, and again, I'm comparing it too much to Smash, so maybe I shouldn't. But
That could be a good thing though, if you think about it. Think about
mhm,
this. How many times you play Smash Brothers and you messed up a recovery and you died into self death and you got really mad? It's like you just kind of ruined your match. Now, obviously, you could do a comeback win, but this game, you have to earn your kill in a sense. So you got to get that person off the stage no matter what.
right?
And I think that that's a different kind of skill level that I'm looking forward to. I don't think this is necessarily a bad thing that everyone has
No,
overpowered
yeah,
recoveries.
yeah. I would just have to wait and see. I think that's one of the only flaws that I've seen, but it could be a actual perk. It could be actually something pretty good.
Right. I think the problem is we try to compare these games to Smash so much, and they're just not Smash. So I think
Right.
if you go into it not comparing it instantly to Smash and kind of playing it as its own thing, I think you're going to have a much better time and enjoy more. And honestly, I think a big part of Nickelodeon All Stars failing so bad was because that game lacks soul. They didn't even have the voice actors.
Nope.
They didn't have any of that. They said we're going to put the voice actors in this game. So that to me tells me they're putting the care and they want this thing to succeed. They're paying all the voice actors to do this stuff. Like Smash, Smash has the voice actors, and you hear the characters, and you hear every kind of like grunt and swing and whatever they're doing. So I think this does have some great potential, and I hope I get an alpha key.
I hope so too, man. I'm really done. I'm gonna be pissed if you get one more first than me.
I can invite. Can I invite you if I get
You
one?
can actually. You're right. You're 100% right. Yeah. So hopefully we do get one, and that way we'll be able to play and probably hopefully get some other people that listen to get on as well to get on board. Yeah, Warner Brothers knows what they have. They know their IPs. They know that they have some killer IPs, and they're very smart and advertising that they're using every single character, and they're also using other voice actors as well. And it just like you said, it goes to show that they're actually caring about this game. So far they have the goodwill that they need to start this game up and get people excited. So we'll just have to wait and see. Not too long from now, I'm hoping that this game, comes out soon. I'm assuming maybe in the fall too, maybe November, hopefully. But we'll see.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. I'm excited for this game, and I can't wait to play it.
Speaking of games to play, Rob, Fall Guys goes free to play. This is news number 4 here. Fall Guys is going free to play starting June 21st. It will also be coming to Xbox, Nintendo Switch, and Epic Games Store alongside the free version, and a PS5 version is set to release on the same day. Season 1 will launch on June 21st, as well as including the costumes and challenges and a bunch of other perks that you can get with this free to play experience starting June 21st. Currently, Fall Guys is $20 on Steam. Thoughts?
Good move. Good
Good
move.
move.
Free to play.
Yes.
Free to play. You can't go wrong. That's the easiest way to get someone to play a game is it's free to play. You know how many people I've said, I'm like, I'm playing this game and you should try it. And they're like, oh, how much is it? Like free. Download it instantly and they try it. They at least try it.
At
So,
least try it, and that's the important part. This makes me wanna try it. You know what I mean?
right. I'll jump into Fall Guys and if it's just free. So I think they're on to something. That's just a smart move. That you can't go wrong with that. You're going to have more people playing Fall Guys now.
Yeah, it's getting the Fortnite treatment, which I think it is smart on Epic's move, right? It also has crossplay, right? It has crossplay, all the good stuff that Fortnite is able to do that you can play with other people and you can cross progression as well. All that fancy stuff, things that we expect at this point in 2022. That's great. I think it kind of rejuvenates this game and brings it back to life. I feel like, right? So it helps kind of get more people in, and people like Tony, for example, right? We had last episode where he was super stoked for this game. They're just gonna bring him right back into the game and get excited again. You know,
Yeah, again, I've never played Fall Guys, but this one I'll probably download it and play Fall Guys. So don't be surprised if you see me say, "Oh my god, I love Fall Guys."
right?
You
Right.
know,
It could change. It could change. But that was just a little update for you guys. Not too much to talk about there. Again, we're not Fall Guys players, so hopefully
we're
the
not
people
Fall Guys guys. You
guys.
know,
I was gonna say that, but I'm like that's too redundant. But whatever. Yeah. So this is exciting news for those that are enjoying that, and hopefully we might be one of those people. Rob, enough about the news though. Dough. I said dough. Though.
though.
Dough, like do dough, dough. Let's go into
Dee da dee
in-game
da do.
chat.
Sorry.
Fucking hate you. In-game chat. I hate you. That was good. That was good though. So in-game chat, guys. Do you go back and play old games? Simple as that. This is a quick, easy in-game chat, like a light discussion. We talked about that on the news number 2 with Sony and stuff like that. We just want to see, do you guys go back and play old games? Are you the type of people that play old games and revisit the games that kind of make you nostalgic? Rob, what do you think?
Well, you know my answer.
Yes.
So before I give my answer to you, because we kind of already know that I do go into old games. You you don't really play old games, and I'm wondering, why don't you go and play old games, or how do you feel about old games in the first place? What's your thoughts on them?
My mentality is old, new is new. I feel like, and not to sound in a bad way, but I just feel like I put my time in a game. I experienced it. I had fun with it. I enjoyed it. Now it's time to move on. Um, there's so many new games out. I I feel like I'm wasting my time playing a game that I've already played, that I've already experienced, that I've already had fond memories of. To just add different memories to it, I feel like I could just play a brand new game and make new memories and new experiences from the get. Does that make sense?
No, that makes perfect sense. I 100% agree with you. But you don't ever miss the game. You never want to be like, wow, I just want to try it again and go back to that
Don't
world.
get me wrong, I've done that 100 times, like, not 100 times, but I mean, one of my main games that I played over and over was Metal Gear Solid 3. I played that game to the death of time, dude. I played that game so many times. I got the trophy for it. I got everything for it. Like, I played that game back and like, especially and specifically, I played, like, the beginning portion of the game, like, the first, like, maybe, I don't know, hour and a half of the game, right before you see the boss. Like, I played that piece so much back and forth to the point where I just know that game from front to back, you know? Um,
Did you just go up the ladder up and down a bunch of times? Is that what you did too?
did not,
The lo-
because that latter piece, although epic in itself, it can get
I didn't
annoying.
realize how long. I forgot how long that ladder piece is,
Yeah.
and it's insane. It's
But
the
that's
longest
way
ladder
later in the
ever.
game. That's way
Yeah,
later
that's
in the
like
game.
that's the end of the game basically, for the
Yeah.
most
I'm
part.
talking about like the first 2 hours, hour and a half of the game that you're traversing through the jungle and you're trying to kind of experience using the camouflage system and all that fun stuff.
So
That
you don't have any desire to go back to any PlayStation 1 game, any N64 game? Like, there's just no desire to go back in that time, or even Super Nintendo? There's
Not
just
really. I just feel like a lot of those games don't age well, and for me to be more frustrated, perfect example. I tried Medieval, and I remember we when you mentioned, "Oh, I want to play Medieval," I'm like, "No, don't," because I tried it recently. I tried it recently, and I had fond memories of that game when back in the day when I first played it on
mhm,
PS1.
mhm, mhm. Yep.
Fantastic. I thought that game was amazing. It was great. It was fun. I had
Uh-oh.
a
I
fantastic
know where
time.
this is going.
Going back to it and playing the remake, I'm like, yeah, it doesn't scratch that
Didn't it
itch. It
didn't it
doesn't
didn't it
hit.
didn't age well, that's what
It
happened, it did
doesn't age
not.
well, and the biggest issue that game has is the controls. The controls are atrocious, and I would have thought that going into this remake, they would have fixed those issues, especially the controls, right? But they didn't. They just kind of made it look pretty, and those are the issues that I have with, like, playing, like, legacy titles, right? Where you're going back, trying to gain that fond memory, gain that nostalgic memory, and you're like, "Oh, I remember having great fond memories of this game." But then when you actually play it, in this time day and age, you're like, "Oh, this doesn't hit the way it did before." And I don't want that to I might as well I wanna remember the good times with those games.
Right, instead of getting frustrated with the controls or the camera or
Right.
and making new members being like, "Wow, the camera really sucks in this game. I didn't know that."
Right. And now I will forever remember that game, Medieval, as like, yeah, but the controls suck. So I don't know if I'll go back, you know?
You made a very good point, sir. I didn't really look at it that way, but I'm gonna tell you my perspective
Yeah.
on that. So I like going back to old, and the reason why I like going back to old games is because I want to experience that nostalgia. I want to remember those good times. I want to go be like and be wowed again and be like, oh my god, I remember this when I was like a kid, and this is so sick, and now I'm an adult play. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just want to relive that moment
Mm.
and kind of remember those memories. And that, but to your point, sometimes when you go back, create bad memories.
Right.
I recently Nintendo Switch expansion pass online access to N64 games. So I tried a bunch of the games. The first game I played was Banjo-Kazooie. Super hyped to play Banjo-Kazooie. I went into it, and I think already something like that. But let me tell you, man, you have to fight with that camera.
Camera. Yeah.
Literally fight with that thing, and it took away from my experience that I like kind of stopped like midway through. Like literally, there's a part where there's like a big metal fish. His name's Clanker's Cavern or something like that. I forget the name of it. And you have to go underwater and like go through like a loop. But like the controls are so bad and the camera's so bad, I just dropped.
Oh my
You
god.
have to start back all the way in the beginning of the level
There's no save points?
again. There's no save points. If you die, you have and like you have to basically go through the whole level again.
Mm.
Enemies respawn, so you just wasted your whole time, and that really pissed me off. I was like, "Wow, this is trash." I'm going to go to another example. Star Fox 64.
Right.
That
I love the
game
game.
aged
Oh, thank God.
immaculately. I whatsoever with that game. I mean, the controls were a little wonky and stuff like that with with everything, but for the most part, I played through it no problem at all. I forgot how hard it could be sometimes. The game was like the last freaking
Mhm.
ridiculous, but that's an example. It really depends on the game because fixed camera. You don't have to really fight with the camera. You just shoot in front of you, and that's it. You a
Right.
couple things. It's kind of like on rails, if anything. So yeah, and I'll give you two more examples, and I'll shut up.
No, shut the
Super
fuck up.
Mario, I played Super Mario 64. Again, same issue with Banjo Kazooie. That camera, awful, awful. I
Yeah.
couldn't deal with it. I was just like, I can't do it. But then I went to play Ocarina of Time, which is game of all time, and I'm just in heaven. I'm in that game is almost timeless. You can't go wrong with that game, no matter what time area you're in. You can, and that just for me is a testament to how perfect that game is. The fact that I could play it 20 years later, or however old, 30 years later, and it's still fine to play. Like obviously, it's not going to be perfect. With the time versus the experience I had with Banjo Kazooie and Mario 64.
Right.
So
Yeah, it goes to show you that there's a handful of games that are able to bring back that nostalgia feeling that you've had previously. But I feel like there's only a handful of those games that can do that, you know?
you're right.
Ocarina of
There is
Time
a
could be
handful.
one of them, but is it worth going through like so we'll go back to talking about PlayStation Plus, right? There's a handful of games that you played in the past, they're PS2 games, PS3 games. Is it worth going back to those games and either reliving the great times that you had with them or reliving the terrible control system that you remember playing as? You know what I mean? Like those things that do you want to go back and play those games and kind of I wouldn't
Finish
say
those memories.
tarnish it, ruin the memories that you've had with them. And it could go both ways. But to me, I'd rather just play a game that I mean, if I played a game, I'm like, cool, I beat it, I'm done with it, and I may never go back to it. Maybe I will. Again, Metal Gear Solid 3 is one of my favorite games of all time, so obviously I gravitate towards that game often, but I don't do that for any other game. Kingdom Hearts, I mean, as much as I love Kingdom Hearts, I don't go back and play
You're not going to play
Kingdom
Kingdom
Hearts
Hearts
1
1.
or Kingdom
Yeah,
Hearts
you're not going
2,
to do it.
but I just know that those games were fantastic at the time, and I'll keep it at that.
Yeah, again, it goes both ways. I think that I think both answers is not wrong. Like to go back to
No,
old games versus not going back to old games. And for me, this cemented for me that Ocarina of Time is the
yeah,
fact that I played this and I'm like, yeah, but out was like the Breath of the Wild of its time. And that made me appreciate
yeah.
it so much more.
You know my stance on Ocarina of Time, just only because that one little issue that I have with that game.
What
I'm
was the
not
issue you
a
had with the game?
huge Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, what was the issue?
Remember you let me borrow it?
Yeah, what happened? What'd you do?
The whole time
Oh, you're thinking
mechanism that it
Majora's Mask.
has.
That's Majora's Mask.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's right.
Mask is
Yeah.
the time. Yeah, that one is annoying. Yes,
That one's rough. That one's rough. Yeah.
I should have made you try
That
Ocarina
was
of Time instead.
you were a terrible friend at that time. You should let me borrow Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, I mean, go play it on the Nintendo Switch
That's true.
expansion. But I'm gonna thing about the Nintendo Online expansion, and it
Lay
starts
it
with
on me.
this.
Oh boy.
Okay, you have the Switch, right? If you guys aren't seeing the screen, I'll hold up my Switch. On the original N64, there was only one control stick, right?
Right.
And
Oh, I know where this is going.
the C buttons was actually buttons. There was no C stick. There was no additional. It was just they were little right, left, and down button
Mm.
and top. And there was basically another direction pad on the right. On the Switch version, your right stick is those directional pads. Okay. What ended up happening a lot since they were buttons back in the day, and this is not a button, this is a direction.
Right.
You hit the wrong direction, so you use the wrong item while
Oof.
you're in combat, or you waste an item. I remember I let go of a fairy that I didn't even need to let go of, and then heal my HP that was already full. So that was I get so mad when I do that in this
Yeah.
game, and I'm just It made me wish
Yeah.
I had N64 controller.
And that's the problem with Nintendo service right now. It's just not. They just kind of like slap old games there, and they're like, "All right, we're cool." They didn't really update any of the controls, so that's why I'm just like a little weary to try it out. But yeah, I mean, it is
Yeah,
what it is, right?
that's
Enough about in-game chat, Rob. Guys, let us know what you guys think. Are you a nostalgic person? Do you play video games that you played in the past? Let us know in the comments below. Let us know on our social media, Instagram, Twitter. Let us know what you think. Are you guys like heavy on playing nostalgic games? Rob, let's get into trivia. You know what I mean? Our third time playing trivia. I think it's time to bump it up a notch. I think we're learning a little bit more as to how to ask these questions and stuff. So I think this is going to be a really fun trivia time.
okay. I'm excited for your questions. You're definitely getting better at getting questions.
Yeah. I will say this. All of them
Okay.
are multiple choice except one.
Okay.
Right.
Good.
So a little bit better than
Uh,
last time.
so we want to do the same thing where it's whoever gets the most right wins the
Yeah.
game, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many questions we got today, Cal, for each
So
host?
we have each host had yeah, okay. Each host has 5 questions. So a total of 10, right?
Okay.
So I'm gonna have you start off first.
Okay. I'm gonna do a timer here. I'm on timer duty.
Okay. Timer duty.
Yeah. So I will time you on your things. So let's
Okay.
get the timer ready. So you want me to go first? You said.
Yeah, go for it. I'm ready.
All right. Let us go to question number 1. You will have 10 seconds to answer the questions.
10 seconds, bro.
10
Okay.
seconds. Yeah, 10 seconds.
Okay.
All right.
This is multiple choice.
This is multiple choice. First question. Which one of these titles will not, you can't cheat. Which one of these titles will not be available on the PlayStation Plus premium tier?
Oh, okay. That was
You
a
like what I
simple
did
one.
there? You like what I
All
did
right.
there? Call back to the first news
Nice,
stop.
nice.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Ape
Wait,
Escape.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Question again. Say it again. Sorry.
Okay. Which one of these titles will not be available on the PlayStation Plus premium tier?
Premium tier. Okay.
Ape Escape, Ape Escape 2, Wormworld Party, Crash Bash. Starting now, you have 10 seconds.
Crash Bash.
You, sir, are
Yes. Awesome.
Nicely done, sir. Nicely done.
Cool. All right. I got you now. Ready? Question number 1. What is the name of the world that the investigation team enters through a TV in Persona 4?
Is it multiple choice?
Yes. I just want you to absorb that question. Let me say it
So
again.
give me time.
What is the name of the world that the investigation team enters through a TV? The name of that place. Persona 4.
Oh, okay. Thank God you put it multiple choice because I would probably not get
Yeah.
this. All right.
A is television station, B is midnight channel, C is midnight station, D is television world.
Midnight Station.
Incorrect.
It's Midnight Channel, isn't it? Oh my
Midnight channel, buddy.
damn it! Ah,
Sorry.
I don't
man.
have a. On
I know
the
there's like
thing.
we got
I'll
we'll
add
add
it. I'll
one.
add.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're
That
up.
was good though. I was like, I was like, all right, I made this question and I'm like, so this was a question I found online, but I changed it. I made the answers. So I'm like, I'm pretty proud of the midnight station because I added that one. I was like, he can't. I'm gonna mix him up a little bit.
No, you did good. You did good. You got me tripped up. I knew it was Midnight something, and then you said Midnight Station. I was like, is it that? So that's good. That's good. All right, second question for you, buddy.
Let's go.
What is the name of the? This is not multiple choice, by the way. What is the name of the item that allows you to use magic spells and abilities in Final Fantasy VII?
Say that again.
What is the name of the item that allows you to use magic spells and abilities in Final Fantasy VII? I'm going to start the timer now. Five seconds.
Meta or something. Starts with M.
Ooh.
Starts with M. Fuck. I don't know. Meta.
I'll give you 2 more seconds. Come on, you got it. Your tongue. No, you got it.
Nah,
It's not meta.
not there.
Sir.
It starts with M though.
Yeah, it's materia.
Materia. Fuck. Damn
I
it.
thought I would be surprised if we actually got that one.
Really? I was close. Sort of close. I'm sure people are listening and they're like, yo, you guys are fucking stupid.
Yeah,
like,
they
come
are.
on.
There's like you're so dumb.
It's just one of those things where like you know what it is. You see it all the time when you play those games, but it doesn't
It doesn't
like
it doesn't
stick
register
in my
your
head.
brain. Yeah.
No, it's just like, oh, I know what that is. I already know what that. Whatever. All right, Rob, I got you.
Up one, my good sir.
Yes. Number 2 here. What is the total roster of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, including DLC characters?
Fuck me, dude.
86,
okay.
90, 89, or 84?
All right, give me the answers one more time.
86, 90, 89, 84. Start the timer.
86.
Incorrect. 89.
90.
89. Damn.
Oh my god.
Oof.
Roy, this. Okay.
Damn, man. I thought you would have had that one. I'm surprised.
I don't remember. It's like we don't look at it, you don't know.
It's one of those things. You're just like,
damn. All right, my turn.
Oh god.
What year did Fall Guys release?
Didn't we just talk about that?
Yeah. Do you see the pattern of what?
Yeah, I see. I see what you did
See
there.
it?
Yeah, making me actually like understand what I was reading. Is this multiple choice?
This is multiple choice. Yes.
Okay. I think I got this.
It is 2020, 2021, 2019, 2018.
2020.
That's your final answer?
That's my final answer.
Nicely done, sir. 2-0. You're destroying me. You're destroying me right now.
Number
I gotta
3
get
here
these
for
right.
you.
Okay.
This is a fun one. I'm pretty proud of myself for these last 3. Which of the following is not a weapon in Apex Legends?
Okay.
P2020,
Okay.
Flatline,
Okay.
Carbon, R99.
One more time.
P2020. Yep. Which of the following is not a weapon in Apex Legends? P2020, Flatline, Carbon, R99.
Carbine.
Correct.
Yeah, that's a trick question. That was a
That's a
trick
trick question. It's
That's a trick.
it's Carbon. There is a carbine, but I had Carbon.
Carbon. Oh,
I
okay,
said
okay. That's
Carbon.
that's why I was like carbine or carbon. I'm like, okay, because I knew the other 4. I was like, those are all in the game,
Okay,
100%.
okay.
Yeah.
I thought you
So
would be tricked with the R99 because I don't remember what that is.
no, I know all the weapons already, man.
Okay.
I'm a crackhead. I'm
All
already.
right. All right.
I sent you a guide on like 100 tips on how to
Oh,
get better
that's
at
true.
Apex, so
Yeah.
I'm already in full crackhead mode with that game.
That was good.
So
That
I'm
was good.
1 in. I'm 1, and you're
Yep.
2, right? 1 and
Yep.
2.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
You could still win if I don't get the rest.
All right. What is the name of Shaggy's powered up form? This is not multiple choice.
Oh, come on.
Think.
What is the name of Shaggy's power-up form?
I was gonna start this timer.
Super Saiyan Shaggy?
Close. Very close, sir.
What
But
is
you
it?
are incorrect. It is Ultra Instinct.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. Damn
Yeah,
it.
I didn't believe it. I was like, there's no way it's that. But
Do you know that Shaggy has a the like the knee kick that Captain Falcon does? He has that same exact
no,
move.
that's
Yeah.
so sick. I'm
Yep.
so pumped.
Yeah. Dope.
So, all right, your
Damn.
turn.
All right. That
My
was good.
turn.
That was good. All right. This one is not multiple choice. And you probably know this because this is
Okay.
it's a one-word answer.
Okay.
How did Octane lose his legs?
From Apex Legends?
Yes. I'm a crackhead. I'm a fucking crackhead at this. Like, I love this game.
Fuck you, dude. Fuck you. How did he lose his legs?
No
I
say.
have no idea.
You better start that timer.
How did Octane lose his legs? He cut them off. I don't know.
Close. Actually, no, not even close. A grenade. A grenade blew his legs
It blew
off.
him up.
Yeah.
Wow.
So let me just read you this little snippet here,
Okay.
just so that you get a little.
Yeah,
So as a board here to the CEOs of Silva Pharmaceuticals, the adrenaline junkie lost his legs by using a grenade in an attempt to set a course record for a nearby gauntlet.
Good to know. Now every time I use an Octane, I'm gonna be like, no grenades for him. I wonder if he has dialogue whenever he picks a grenade.
Maybe. I don't know.
We'll have to see. That's good. That's a good question.
Yeah.
So we could tie this, or
Mm-hmm.
okay. Last question. This is easy. You're probably gonna get this and take the win. What is Amazon's gaming streaming service called? Not multiple choice.
Oh, come on. All right. I know I should know this. I really do. Hang on. What is Amazon's gaming streaming service?
Yes.
Is it Twitch?
You are incorrect, sir.
What is Amazon's?
Luna.
Oh, Luna. Wait, what did I say? Why did I say Twitch?
They're associated with Twitch.
They bought Twitch, right?
Did they buy Twitch?
Yes. Fuck.
Anyways, you're wrong. It's Luna. Amazon
Anyways,
Luna.
Fuck. Oh my god, I'm an idiot. I should have thought about that question a little bit longer.
Yeah, you jumped the gun on that one.
I did. All right. Well, this is it. You can tie this or I can win this. It's
right.
all up to you right now. And I don't think you're gonna get this. I'm gonna be honest. This is multiple choice.
You doubt my powers, dude. You doubt my powers.
This
All
is
right.
multiple choice. I'm gonna throw a curveball here. How many main bosses are there in Kenya Bridge of Spirits?
Multiple choice?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, do I remember?
You don't even remember?
Hang on. I don't. I usually highlight it. Hang on. Oh shit. How many bosses
Are you
are
kidding me? You made the question even know the answer. Like
I
what?
did. I just forgot. Okay, I got it. I got it.
Okay, okay, okay. All
Sure,
right.
sure,
What's the
sure.
multiple choice?
18,
There's
10, 12, or 16. Start that timer, motherfucker.
10.
That's your final answer, Rob.
That's my final answer.
You sir are incorrect.
It's 12.
16.
There's 16 of those fuckers in
There's
there?
16. I don't remember there being 16, but there's
I don't.
16.
I remember there being like 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, there
No,
was like
there's
none.
16. Wild.
You know what it was? The ending. The ending is crazy. There's a lot of bosses in the ending.
True. That's fair.
Yeah, I think it's yeah. No, that's well. You won. You
Woo!
100% won.
Finally,
Congratulations, dude.
I won a trivia.
You are
First
the
one in my
champion.
life.
That's it. We have we got to keep a tally of who wins, like how many each
Well,
episode.
so the first episode, the first time we did it, we had a tie, and then the second one doesn't count, I guess, because we had Tony. I don't know. But then the third episode, this one, I won. So
He's gonna get salty when you hear that. He'll be like, "You didn't count. My
he,
episode didn't count."
he was too good. He was too good. You know what I mean? He doesn't count. You know what I mean? He can't chill with us noobs here. So
Well, it was fun. I had a lot of fun. Those good questions, Kel.
this
Good
was
job.
fun, and I am very proud of myself for these questions because it took me a while to get them, but I actually think I put a lot of thought in them. But your questions were great too. Like I think we had solid questions there. So yeah, this is fun, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you guys for chiming in. This has been the Gaming Duel Podcast, episode 71. If you guys enjoy what you hear, what you see, please do not hesitate to like us on social media, follow us on social media, and if you really like what you're listening to, give us a rating. Give us a rating on Spotify. Give us a rating on Apple Music. That really helps us with the algorithm. We really do appreciate that. Rob, this has been fun. Do you have anything else to end the show with?
Nothing as of right now. I think we discussed everything. I'm like, again excited for PlayStation Versus, and again, what Kelvin said about if you guys can please go to those services and leave us a 5-star review. It really helps. There was actually someone I want to shout out. They left us a great review.
Yeah.
Let me read the review out to you guys because it's actually like really nice. And whoever you are, I'm gonna shout you out here in a sec. Let me see if I find it. Bear with me for 1 sec. I don't have the review on hand right
Twitter. You
now.
posted on Twitter, I think.
Was it on Twitter? I found it. Nope, that's not it.
These posts really do help us, guys. Like they make me feel so happy about what we do. So if you do like what you hear, give us a review and say what you have to say about us. Even if it's something that's critical, we don't take that to heart. We actually use that to help our podcast grow and make it better. So please, if you have something to say about our podcast, let us know, and we will be happy to listen to it. And if it's nice, we'll shout you out. If it's wrong, if it's wrong, if it's a bad thing, then
If
we'll
it's
just take that.
wrong.
We'll take that into consideration. That's all.
Let me see if I could find it. Hold on.
Just go to Twitter and go to our profile page.
Did you put it on Twitter?
No, I didn't. I saw it on Twitter. I thought you did.
No.
I guess
There
it
we
just
go.
posts automatically. Yeah.
All right, so here it is. It is Cool Dudes. This was from Jan1216. Whoever Jan is, thank you so much. You're
Thank
the
you
best.
so much, man. Thank you.
If you're looking for a sweet little sippy on the massive milkshake that is the gaming world, you
I
found
love that.
the hosts bounce off of each other with insightful questions that help lead thinking about subjects you thought you already knew. Also, as a person that knows everything, I was screaming into my phone when the guest would take longer than 0.3 seconds to answer. Thank you so
That's
much,
probably me.
Jan1216. You are the best.
Yes. Thank you so much. That was awesome. Guys, thank you so much for listening. Until next time, take care.